Hello there, my name is Shane Johnson and I've been a student of Richard's for God forever since 1998, so 22 years and counting. And I took the PDP program, which was back then was called the On-Camera Boot Camp, I believe. And that was in 2006 when I took that, so that's been about 14 years ago. Now, prior to the boot camp, I had a career, I had worked, but things had dried up, relying on luck, relying on the phone to ring, relying on my team without really knowing how to control my team or to work with my team to strengthen my team and make them better. I was just completely reliant on the system to take care of me. And there was probably a 3-year period or so prior to the boot camp where I felt like I couldn't get arrested out there. My things dried up. I wasn't working. I was, starting a family, and I needed to kind of get things moving, and Richard really helped with that. So taking the on-camera class basically put me into a different mindset. It made me take on the ownership of my career and the responsibility for my career and for what I was doing, and to take the blame out of it, to take complaining out of it, and having it be somebody else's fault, like my career is somebody else's fault, right? Or somebody else's job to handle. And it put me in the driver's seat and gave me a skill set to control the factors that I can control. I had spent so much time and energy worrying about the shit that I can't control, like whether or not I got an audition or whether or not I booked a job. Like all my energy was on just that, results. And so focusing more on the things that I can control, the things that I can be a part of, that shifted gears for me and really put me in the driver's seat, put me in control of my career. So I think right after boot camp, I worked back to back to back. I booked like 3 guest stars in a row within maybe a 4 or 5 month period, which was an incredible momentum to be jumping out of the boot camp and have that happen. I think it was like an episode of Bones, maybe Cold Case, and one other thing, a CSI or something like that. And so the rest is history, It's been off to the races ever since. In regards to my longevity on the show Power and my being in the Power universe, a show that I've been on now for about 7 years, I would say the thing that has helped me the most there has been politics, personality, and craft. And politics is getting you in the room, right? And personality is staying in the room and making people want to work with you. These people are looking at now, it's 7 years. You're coming in just for an audition. But in reality, you're getting into a relationship, a marriage that's going to last for who knows how long. And you want to be the kind of person and the kind of energy, the kind of addition to what they're doing, that this is somebody who's going to help enhance our product, and somebody that's a pleasure to be around, somebody that we're going to want to spend time with, that's going to help elevate things and be a team player and be a leader, etc. And when it comes to craft, that's half of the game. The craft is half of the game. And I believe that most of that comes down to attitude and really putting in, because your attitude monitors your talent, right? And that does have something to do with craft. And I believe that is because if you're willing to work harder than anybody else in the game, if you're willing to just put yourself out there to try things, just put in, when other people are learning their lines and then going out and having a drink and going out and hanging out, if you're willing to just lay everything you have down on the line and put yourself out there and put in the extra work, put in the time, so that when you show up your confidence level, your ownership of your character and of what you're doing and is above and beyond, then how can you not win? How can you not succeed? Because you're putting in the work, you know? Being able to see myself on camera through a different lens, meaning that, you know, you go and you shoot something and then you see it on TV, that's one thing. But filming yourself or having somebody film you for an audition or for a scene or whatever, and when you go in and you're really analyzing it on the computer and you're looking at, or you know, on the screen, and you're looking at what works, what doesn't work, you're looking at the lighting, you're hearing the sound, you're seeing all of the components come together to create an experience for the viewer. It's a different muscle that you're working, and gaining ownership of that through the programs that Richard teaches, I believe made me a much better actor. It made me aware of nuance. And I believe that the difference between really good actors and great actors is nuance, and being able to understand all the elements that go into what shows up on TV or in a movie is a big component of that. You know, most acting classes are on the stage, and so you're up on the stage and you are acting for a teacher that's sitting 25, 30 feet away maybe, or whatever, and for an audience, right? But most of us that are here in LA or even in New York, most of us, I would say, are getting into TV and film. Well, that's a completely different medium. You have to understand the medium that you're going for. So you have to understand the difference between a wide shot and a master shot, and what that looks like and how you act for a master shot. And then you have to understand what goes into a two shot, what goes into a close-up, and even, you know, the difference between a static shot and a handheld shot. You know, all those things have different energies, and there are different components involved in them, and they speak differently when you see them. And understanding that medium and understanding what happens inside that box, I believe gives you power and control. And so I really learned that from studying with Richard and analyzing myself. The other thing that's cool is that by looking at yourself enough and analyzing yourself constantly, week after week, you get to the point where you're not judging yourself anymore. You're not going, oh, look how I look, my face, my wrinkles, my hair, whatever. Like, that becomes second nature. It becomes a different issue. You actually just become a product. And when you can look at yourself like just a product, how am I coming across? How am I selling this part? Then you're empowered. Then you can do anything, because you're not worried about like, oh, my hair's out of place, let's do another take. Who cares? This is a human being. This is a product. It's not you. It's not who you are on the inside necessarily or anything like that. It's something that you're painting. Leave it out there. Let other people judge it, experience it. That's for them. Your job is just to experience it. In regards to the skill set that I learned, is taking real ownership of my space, having a place where art can occur. Also, within that, having a launch pad, a place that just speaks to you on a personal, spiritual level that helps throw you into the thick of the business, getting excited about it, putting yourself out there. And one of the things it did for me is I had something that I was really passionate about. I had a product that I was really passionate about. It was an animated series that I couldn't at the time afford to send to South Korea, which is where a lot of the stuff's animated, and spend $250,000 to have a 20-minute piece animated. And so because of this thinking that Richard teaches, I taught myself how to animate. I just studied and spent 6 months working my ass off to figure out how to pull this together. And then I used all my connections and put together a world-class voice talent. I mean, like top of the industry talent, for free, by the way. And really great animation, especially considering that I'd never animated before. And that kind of fire and control and strength that I gained during that time is invaluable. And it's interesting to note that, yes, I actually didn't sell that animated series. I'm still dealing with it because it's great, and I think it will sell very soon. But in doing that, in putting my energy into something artistic, into not waiting, into putting Hollywood as plan B and really just making my own, what I did is I spoke to the universe. Like, I demanded of the universe, and my career, my acting career, was just taking off during that time. And I was focusing most of my energy on this animation thing. All my spare time was just learning, creating, drawing, writing, animating, all that. And in the meantime, in the background, my career was taking off. And to the point where my career was doing well enough that I was like, I actually don't have the time now to deal with the animation. So you never know where it's going to come from. You never know where it's going to come from. The magic is you put yourself out there, you do the work, you commit to being the artist that you are, and the universe answers. I write. I've written features, I've written series, and I animate. And so, yeah, I create my own products. Most of my work, most of my career has been acting in other people's stuff. But in my heart, some of the things that I'm most proud of are the things that I've written or created or animated or whatever. And I also know that just doing that work, the creative work, exercising that muscle, the writing, the drawing, the animating, all those artistic things, other things that I've done, have really helped support the career. So none of it's wasted. Even though I can't point to something and go, well, I spent 6 months writing this thing and it never sold. So what? Because that is a seed that was planted for something else that popped up. So it may seem like it's an indirect thing, but it's absolutely connected. And I know that where I'm at today is because of all these other things that I had going on and not waiting around for the phone to magically ring. Well, I think that prior to working with Richard, my career was out of my control. It was arbitrary. I worked sometimes I didn't. I was scared sometimes I wasn't. And after working with Richard, now it's really put me in the driver's seat. It's given me a lot of factors that I can control. And by controlling all of the factors that we can control, the career happens. The fear goes away because it's no longer arbitrary. Now it's on purpose. My career is on purpose. And my career is mine. And it's my responsibility. And that is probably the biggest lesson that I've learned from Richard. One of my aims in life, like Richard's, is to help lead others to their greatness. And I feel like with the platform that I have and with all that I've gained from Richard and from this incredible career, I feel like I have affected so many people. I feel like a leader, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of being able to affect somebody positively, to see somebody come in who's maybe a little lost or who doesn't quite understand how to accomplish something that they feel right here inside of them. And by pulling a few strings, asking a few questions based on the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained from Richard in my career, that I can help lead them to their own greatness. And that is probably the most satisfying thing that I've ever experienced, is to see what I know affect somebody in a way that helps them get closer to their dream and make their dream more tangible. I would say that my dreams are absolutely real. I'm living my dream. I'm living my dream. It's all around me now. It wasn't before. My dream evolves. My goals evolve. As I reach goals, I create other goals. As I knock down targets, I create other targets. And so my dream has evolved. I think if you ever actually just reached your dream and were living it 100%, it might actually be dissatisfying. We always want to have something we're striving for. So I am at an incredible place. I'm so blessed, and so much of that is because of Richard and determination that I brought to the table. So between Richard's knowledge and wisdom and his incredible mentorship and my determination and will and hunger for this, it's a recipe for success that can't be denied.